Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, we really do appreciate you tuning in and being a part of this program. Tell a friend to tell a friend that Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil is on the. You know what we do here? We talk business, legal, social, whatever affects you in this community, we will talk about it. That's what we do here. I'm glad to have this opportunity again to be here with you. On yesterday, I was not available. Man, it was a bad rush here yesterday when it came to trying to make some visits to one or two places and I caught up in that traffic. And when I got caught up in that traffic, ladies and gentlemen, was unable to do anything to get here in time enough, excuse me, in time enough to talk to you. Got to mute some of these TVs I got going here. Uh, got a lot of them going, listen to different news from CNN to local news and ABC News as well as some of these cable news, sitting up trying to find out what's going on so we can be up on the information for you. Welcome in, as I said, I really did miss you on yesterday as we getting ready to see if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise in the morning, another Christmas day. And I know somebody out there ought to just said thank you, Jesus, for getting close to another Christmas. We never know what happens from minute to minute. I had a good friend of mine, neighbor, called me, talked to him earlier, and he said to me, Nard, I got to go to North Carolina. He said that my sister had heart problems and they trying to retrieve her, but I don't think that they're going to be able to do it because they've been working on her for quite some time. And can't do nothing but pray for my good friend for many years. Uh, it's powerful. It's heartbreaking when you lose a sibling or you lose a loved one. And I can't do nothing but pray for him and his family as they travel to uh, North Carolina to be with the family in this time. We're gonna hope and we're gonna pray that all is well in their safe travel and back, and pray for the sister that hopefully when he get there, uh, that she's still around. You never know. It could be you, could be me, could be one of our siblings. We never know. But we ought to be grateful that God has allowed us to be here for the length of time that we have been here. And somebody ought to say amen to that because it could affect you. And if you've been blessed that you haven't lost a mother or father, a sister or brother, you just need to say thank you because we never know. And certainly during this festive season, and sometimes a lot of people get lonely, heartbroken during this time because they miss the loved one. And I was looking at a program where they were saying that during this time of season, you have a lot of suicide that are being committed. And we're praying that none of that happen for you or any other family. But we thank God for allowing us to be here another season. As always, I really do appreciate you. If you would subscribe to this program and go to YouTube and go to our website, all you have to do on the website and YouTube and Spotify and X, just go to memphisrealtalk.com. MemphisRealTalk.com, and you will be able to pull it up. These programs are on Facebook as well. We're just trying to provide the thing that for you to enjoy this program. Hopefully, that you learn a little bit from what we are trying to do and provide for you to think about. Well, if we're blessed to see another year, January 1st, we be grateful and thankful for that. But I hear a lot of people always talk about they got a New Year's resolution, and this is what they're going to do. And probably 3 months into the new year, they forget all about what they said that they was going to do. Some say I'm going to lose some more weight. Some do, some don't. Some say I'm going to be more serious about outreach programs and about going to church because this life winding change, as my grandmother used to say, that is winding up slowly but surely. Uh, if you've been here quite a while, you never know. And sometimes you can be here just for a few years. Something happened in this crazy world in which we live in. We live in a crazy world now, whether you realize it or not, whether you want to own up to it or not, whether you want to protect those who lie to you. Well, we know that we definitely don't have who could be in the best, but have made up in their mind that because of the chaos and politics in the city of Memphis, they don't want to get out there. Now, I would say to you, if you know you're not qualified to do the position, if you haven't served this community well, if you haven't been on the battlefield of trying to make this city better, don't go and try to run for something when you don't have any experience. And that's the biggest problem that we have in politics in Memphis right now, is that we got a lot of people that ran on name recognition, family recognition, and we have gotten nothing from these individuals. So we need to make a resolution that you're going to be smarter than you were last year or the year before that when it came to voting and your elected official. I'm going to dig in deeper than I ever dug in my life when it comes to people running for office. We're going to research. And it's easy to research to find out anything I want to find out from this very computer that I'm sitting. To scroll in downtown and see if you ever been arrested, to see if you're qualified. What is your background? And these are the things that the people need to know. And I gave a fair warning on yesterday when I said on my computer that this is a warning. This is a fair warning to you that we got to do better in 2026 and 2028 than we done in any other election. Because if we don't get it right this time, when it comes to the school board, when it comes to the county commission, when it comes to the city council, when that time is, and you see all the failure that have happened from the administration on the city level as well as on the county level. We hope and pray that we're through with Lee Harris unless he get in another race and you fall for the okey doke and put him there. But I think the people, and what I'm reading in the response, I think they're sick of Lee Snake Harris, a snake in the grass, in my opinion, and will always be that way. But we have to get smarter than we were last year, this year, to be better in 2026. Because if you don't, it's over with. If you don't break this habit, this mental habit, voting for people because they got a name, or voting for people because they did this, that, or the other for the first time, and you thought it was nice and say, yeah, I saw her when she gave a ham away. Giving a ham away don't make you qualified to run for office. They say you're qualified because you're 18. And I believe that is the problem with our community, especially the black community and the community at whole, that when we elect individuals who you know are not bona fide, certified, or qualified to run for the position, you end up with a general session clerk by the name of Tammy Sawyer. Now, all evidence has pointed and said there's something not quite right with Tammy Sawyer. You saw what she did. You saw her interfering with law enforcement officers. And the only reason they didn't deal with it, and she said, I'm innocent, and I posted, you're not innocent. You interfered, but the police officers, deputies rather, failed to do their job. They probably notified the people on the ninth floor, and they was told not to arrest them. Because normally an officer, a law enforcement officer, don't have to get the permission, in my opinion, of a supervisor. If a person is committing a crime in front of you, clearly she was, by enhancing the, uh, hindering, excuse me, the deputies from performing their investigation and their duty. Again, to you, Tammy Sonia, you're not innocent. You need to seek, in my opinion, mental health, because I believe there's something is not right for you, and you running the general session clerk's office under your condition, in my opinion, then you need to seek some mental help. And mostly, I believe that every elected official should have a once a year mental evaluation. Because you think about it, the people who you put in office, they are there to serve you, but they're more about themselves than about you. And to me, when you're more greedy about yourself as an individual, to me, in my opinion, that is a mental situation. And I believe from the bottom all the way up to the top, if you hold a position of authority, a position of trust, where the people look for you to do the right thing and you don't, then there's a mental issue. The mental issue may become because you're caught up, tied up, tangled up in a situation where you owe favor to people who have put money into your campaign. Now, mentally, you're stressed because you owe those powers that be favor. But the people who put you in office, you do nothing for them. Their neighborhood look like bombs have been dropped in the street, holes everywhere. But you don't do what you're supposed to do to represent those districts. To me, that is a mental problem because you've been caught up where you got to go and do things that we don't benefit from a hotel being bought. We don't benefit from a Carlisle group running the hotel. We don't benefit from when it's all said and done, it's turned over to the Carlisle group. Where do we as citizens benefit from any of that? Not one iota, as they used to say, that we benefit from. Because guess what? Who paying the bill? You are. You and I are paying the bill for the hotel. You and I are paying the bill by way of taxes that these ideas that these politicians come up with. And believe me, any idea that they come up with, somebody is going to get paid from that idea. Just think for a minute. If you build a new regional one, the bricklayers are going to get paid. The cement company is going to get paid. The water people are going to get paid. Every part of building a building, somebody is going to get rich or somebody may get wealthy. And the people who have to pay for it gets nothing. I believe in government for the people and by the people. I believe that the government owes the people who give their tax dollars to run government. You owe the government, owe the people because it's the people's government and the people. That's just like you. You going working every day and you paying your bills and you benefit not from anything, whether it's your light bill or whether it's your phone bill. Say you paid those bills, but your phone was off. Say you paid those bills and your lights was not on. Say you paid the bill on a car note, but you don't have a car to drive. All of that is similar to what we are doing as taxpayers. We're not benefiting for putting money into the government for the government to run. But we do see where we come up, ladies and gentlemen, short by way of deficits. And nobody seems to want to do anything. One administration after the other, they have deficits and they need more money. Why? Because that deficit money is missing. It's in somebody's pocket or it was misappropriated, but nobody wants to address those issues. We sit around here with all kinds of situations that are happening in this community, and our leaders are not doing anything to benefit us, to lead us. And we have to make conscious decisions in 26. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep telling you this, but it's on you because I'm okay. The Lord has blessed me with the fruits from our labor, and I can enjoy the fruits of my labor. What I'm trying to do is to get you in a position that you can understand while you're working, you can be appreciative of what you're paying for in this city. First responders have to cry about not getting their 5%. You got non-qualified elected officials on the city council that's voting against giving the people their 2% that was left out of the 5% that these elected officials approved and went along with. And now they're crying. But they got the 2%. And then some of the elected officials say, well, you're going to come back here again asking us for more money. If you work somewhere and you worked and got a salary, you're going to look forward to a raise, especially these first responders and what they do. And I was one, oh, we're over 20 years and combined with the military service. I have been a person who have dealt with serving others and the people all of my life. That's who I was. As long as I can remember, that's who I am. I've done that. Been told if you was elected, we have to change how we do business. And I found out how they do business. And I understand it. But my goal now and my mission and my assignment that has been given to me is to do what I'm doing right here. Some can look at it and say, well, why do he do that? It's bigger than what you think of being and why I'm doing it. It's an assignment that I have been given for years. Been on radio for over 30 years, one way or the other, in this city and other cities, bringing messages to the people like I'm bringing it to you. The old saying, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can bring you the information. You can either take the information, learn from it, and try to make yourself a better person and this city as a whole. I've seen people who ask the question, who really would support Jennings Bernard? Well, it's been proven. And you knew the answer before you asked that. So I got really the person on my Facebook page that asked a silly question like that. I ran several times and didn't get support of the Democratic Party. They always ran someone against me and played the good old boy network, but it doesn't matter. I did what I was supposed to do in the assignment that I was given. And I realized that they wouldn't take the information like Noah gave them and said that it was going to rain, and they didn't believe it. And then till the flood came, and they was knocking on the ark door that said, "Let me in." But there's something about God. When He seals a door, Noah couldn't open it because God sealed it. What I'm saying to you as individuals in this community, you better pay attention while the information is flowing. Once the information stops and God sealed the door on ignorance, stupidity, laziness, when He seals that door is forever sealed. And what you're going to have is corruption, bad politician, because you wasn't able to think for yourself, not for others, while the door was open. And I believe that if you don't get it right in 26 or in 28, God is going to seal the door. And our children will be suffering because you didn't take the information while the door was open. And when God sealed it, no man can open it. You got your opportunity. And the message has been given to me that you better do better. You better take some of these people out of office that don't need to be in office. Because once you put them back in that, God is going to seal the door. And you're going to continue to have what you got right now, a city in chaos. God opened the door, and the door was open to come down here by way of the National Guard, the federal people, and the crime is down. Crime is still up. It's going down more now than it ever had. But you got help. People are out shopping. I mean, I almost got ran over by the traffic, in traffic, because people are feeling better to go out and do what's necessary. A year ago, people wasn't running around like they are in the street, Christmas shopping and doing all of this. I saw it firsthand. But then you have people to say that, hey, nothing has changed. Well, you wait till God seals that door, and you'll find out He's not just going to seal one door. He's going to seal some doors that He knew you knew better, but you didn't do better. And your door was sealed because you didn't get up and go to the poll and do what you supposed. You didn't organize your family. And the person that's in your house, sucking up your hair, in your bed, that's able to vote and won't vote, and you don't have the strength or the control over that person that's in your hair, in your office, sucking up your air, in your house, sucking up your air, you don't have control of that, then that door is going to be sealed on you. And you're going to be looking for a handout when you could have gave yourself the helping hand that you needed. Because the door is open. It's open for the tree of knowledge. It's open for that knowledge for you to make a difference in your life. But you don't want to do it because it goes against the grain of the power that be. Representative White, Mark White, said they're getting ready to go to work in this session in a few weeks to deal with the school system. And you have this ignorance of people who would say nothing is wrong with the school board. You got to be outside of your mind if you believe that for a second, that there's nothing wrong with the school board. When people try to change things and make things better, if they really did a forensic audit on all contracts, you would see the people that benefited from those contracts from $1.8 billion jobs that came in through contracts. You will find out that there's people who got contracts that wasn't even qualified to get the contract, but because of good old boys and the system, they played with you and on you. The superintendent, Robert Richmond, made sure his wife had but 14 kids, wouldn't have got a contract, but he got in there, and what was that he did time he got there? He gave his wife a contract for another 10 years. If you don't think something is wrong with that, you had the right superintendent, but you all voted to get her out. And the people realize it now. The people realize, and I hope in 26, when it comes to that county mayor's race, I hope the people understand what you saw happen at the school board and you could correct it while the door is open now to correct it. Because if you don't correct it when it gets sealed, you just got another individual in there for a paycheck, another individual in there that don't know what to do and getting their direction from other people who they owe favors to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to stop fooling around. It's time for the state to take over the school system. You may not like that because you may be benefiting from it. And if you ain't benefiting, you're benefiting from the people who have gotten in office, giving you contracts for you and your buddies and others off of the dime of the citizens who paid the bill. That $1.8 billion, almost $2 billion. And these folks sitting there don't know what they're doing. They're sitting spending your tax dollars okay contracts. And for you to okay to pass Dr. Richard Weiss to get that contract again, it says to me right there, you're not qualified to be on that board. If you don't have the staff, if you don't have enough children to benefit from a contract, only 14, my understanding. You've forgotten all about that. That's another problem that we have. Things can be done to you and you sit back and you just let it go and never say anything about it. That's not my assignment. My assignment is to bring it up, to keep bringing it up while the door is open, while you can save yourself by telling your family members it's time for a change. It's time for the name recognition and all of that. You know what the little bird left on the limb, all of that. It's time. It's over. And when you see people like myself who really don't have anything to lose, who are out here just trying to give you the information to man up, to woman up, and say, listen, I got a granddaughter that's probably going to live here in Memphis, and she got to deal with the mess that we're dealing with now because the door is sealed and the mentality of your mind is sealed, meaning that you're going to keep doing what you're doing if you don't get it right come 2026 and 28. You have the power, ladies and gentlemen. You have the power to change your own life, but you don't. And the powers that be, the influencer, want to keep you where you are right now. A few of you get a position and you think you're a little better than others. You're no better than the person that's at the bottom of the totem pole because you are trapped in a situation that you can't think for yourself. You have to skin and grin. You have to laugh when there's nothing funny. You have to scratch when nothing itch. Or you have to dance, as they say, when there's no music. And if you look at your politicians, all of them across the board, they're all dancing when there's no music. They're scratching their head when nothing is. They are doing these things because they have to, not because they want to. They caught up in the money contribution trail that they have to do. Now let's look at this. Why in the world would you give somebody $1.5 million that's not qualified to be a mayor? Never have been in the trenches of anything. Don't know what an agenda was when he was running, but all of a sudden these things are popping up. You all are saying, you're talking about, you're saying, what are we going to do with a hotel? Well, I just told you what you're going to do with a hotel. You're going to buy it, and this administration is going to give it away. Buy it with your tax dollars. The door is open. God has put it right in front of you. The stupidity of our leaders in this city, across the board, from the AI. And some of you think, well, the AI, no, 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 no. Something with 30 turbines that was running, something with 15 turbines were running. Just like anything else, it's going to give off, whether it's heat or whether it's pollution or whatever, it's going to give it off, and you and your loved ones are going to be sick because of the sick-minded, weak-bodied mentality individual that you have elected and put in office. I know why they never wanted me to hold office, because I know how to raise hell. I know about the good fight, because I've been in many of them and succeeded across the board. And I challenge you, anybody you put into office, I challenge them with their resume versus mine. Put up what I've done based on what the other done. They can't beat me because they know who I am and what I stand for. I don't bend over for people who ride my back. I look people in the eye when I'm talking to them. And when I tell them something, that's it. I don't care if everybody else on any board is against what I say. If I believe it and I believe that it's better for the people, you can't persuade me. I will be that person every time to vote no if I don't believe it, or to vote yes. I will not lie to you and say I'm going to recuse myself. That's a weak cop out for a brother who knows that his brother is finna get a contract dealing with a hotel that we bought. He gonna say, I recuse myself. That's a city council person that when the 2% raise came up, He cried out, I don't think we need to give the people a raise. And the four other black women, which I gave more credit to than I have right now for them, went along with that. Why? Because they followed the money trail. The Carlisle Chase, the chairman of the budget, as I told you, he went against, and they followed like the slave following the slave master because they want contributions or voted the way he wanted them to go. And that's the bottom line. You can say what you want to say and believe what you want to believe, but when you get through with it, it's no different than the slave master right now putting money in front of the slave's face and they are falling for it and you don't get anything. You're left in the field to still work like a slave in this day and you're supposed to have individuals that help you to get out of the slave field, but you're still there working your fingers to the bone, expecting your representatives to help you and they play with you and they get over on you and you still put them on off. You better do the right thing before the door is closed and sealed, and it will not and cannot be opened again. The door was sealed. It was open for a time. God opened it through the civil rights movement. He opened it and it was sealed. Now look where it's at. What we have gained through the civil rights movement, we are being set back. Our recognition of what African Americans have done in this country we call America, they want to get rid of it. They don't want it to be known that most of the inventions that you have in America came through African American and their idea. They don't want you to know the history of Rosewood. They want all of that off the book or Tulsa, Oklahoma. They don't want you to understand what happened and how we as a black community were thriving. They don't want you to know that anymore. Wipe all of that out. They don't want a king they recognize anymore. They want to wipe that out. Why? Why is it that things like this are happening in America? And why is it that we as a community and our elected officials are sitting back playing the money game, and that's all it is. It's the money game, ladies and gentlemen. And they're going to continue to play the money game until we wake up. And I'm going to do everything I can while the door is open come 26, 28 to make sure while this door is open that you ask God to guide you, to direct you, to do the right thing. And you know what the wrong thing is. You look and you follow the wrong thing and look at what we got in City Hall. Look at what we got in the county mayor's office. Look at what we got on the commission. Look at what we got on the city council. Look at what we got in the state house when it comes to people that look like you and I. Everybody else is prospering. Everybody else community is looking great except ours. And you want to know who to blame? It's the people that you put in office that don't have your benefit above here, all other. They just want to get their check, play with you. Some are there for a retirement because that's all they need right now. They ain't got nothing else but to run for office to get that paycheck. Then think about working hard and enjoying the fruits of their labor, but they didn't. So now they don't get into politics, and now they can get a check. You got to look at those things. And we're going to point these things out because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of looking at this mess that we have in the city of Memphis. You can't hurt me. I'm good. But what I do have is the love of people from whatever I've been in and whatever I have done. I've done it better than the rest. I'm Jenny Bernard. You've been listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I want to take this opportunity right now to wish each and every one of you a very, very Merry Christmas. Love you, loved ones, because they're here today and they can be gone tomorrow. As I go back in my mind and I remember my mother, father, and grandmother, how on tomorrow Christmas was a very special day in the Bernard household. They would call us all over. My dad had a thing that he would do, and I probably told you all this before. He would go over to a market over on Scott Street. Some of you may remember it's a market where you could go fruit, vegetable, green, all of that, and you can go pick it up. But he would always go and buy several crates of oranges and apples. And all of my brothers and sisters, we would come to the house and pick up a box of those oranges and a box of those apples. That was the thing he loved doing. And then he would buy this giant peppermint stick candy that looked like the barber's peppermint stripe sign. It would be that big. And he would crack it off with a hammer, break it up, and we would take it and we eat it with the oranges. Some of you probably haven't did that, but I used to love it. But I can't eat oranges like I used to. But you take an orange with a little piece of peppermint candy. Eat that orange while you got the peppermint in your mouth, and you tell me, you can text me and tell me what do you think about that. Brother Tappan, my good friend, Reverend Dr. Tappan, Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend. Look forward to you, Brother Tappan, become a part, and I know you're gonna put it out there. You're going to be running this year, ladies and gentlemen. You will not meet a finer individual or an individual, a pastor that has the love for his church and for the community as Reverend Dr. Fred Tappan. And I wish him well. And you're right. This school board is a national embarrassment, and we got to change it. We have to change it and put people in that are qualified and dedicated like Dr. Tappan. We got to do that. And if you aren't doing anything and you want to support him, support him. And there are some others out here that will qualify to run. I'm done running. I'm just telling you now. I have had my assignment to do my running, but you didn't understand it, that it was a spiritual assignment as to everything I ran for. But God sealed that door and told me, well done. I want you to do this. And I'm doing now the new assignment, and that is telling the truth and shaming these devils. You got to call it what it is. You may think it's harsh, but sometimes you have to be hard. You have to be cold to get your point across for people to understand. And you watch, you're going to find these people because they forever do it. You can tell them everything, the right thing, and the way to do it. They don't learn until God seals the door. Again, the people didn't understand. When Noah was telling them it's going to rain, they laughed. They didn't pay attention. But Noah had an assignment. It was a spiritual assignment to let the folks know that I'm sending floods that way. Noah built it, and while he was building the ark, they was laughing. But Noah had already given them the message. God said, you gave them the message, now leave it alone. Go build the ark. And then all of a sudden, when Noah got his assignment, and he got everything in 2 by 2, he pulled up the door. They were still laughing. And then all of a sudden, it began to rain. It rained for 40 days and for 40 nights. It rained. It wiped out the people who didn't listen but were trying to get into the ark when the rain came. But it was too late because God had sealed the door. God is giving you the opportunity in 26 to put strong people like Dr. Reverend Tappy and others who would come, who have your concern, and watch and see what happens. If you put people in that's qualified, that's bona fide and certified, then you'll see it different. But please don't let that door close on you and you still be crying about your children, what they're not getting. Why? Because you didn't do the right thing and put the right people in place while the door was open. Now the door is sealed and you've got to deal with it for another 4 years. And your children are suffering. If the children could ask you a question, they would ask you, Mama, why didn't you get up and go vote while the door was open? Mama, this is happening in school. I can't study because I got to worry about somebody doing something to me. Why didn't you get up while the door was open and go and do what was necessary before the door was sealed? So now it's sealed. And you're going to be running to the school board because you don't put them clowns back in the door. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. I'm praying for you. I want God to bless you and your family, but I want you to open your mind. I want you to realize what is happening in this city. I will do this. I will continue to do it. And while I do it, subscribe to these videos as well as YouTube and Facebook, and go to MemphisRealTalk.com, the Facebook page, and look over. You'll be glad you did. And you'll see the direction that we're trying to go to get you to, so we can have better government and we can have a better city. I'm Jennings Bernard. You've been listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. In the words of my grandmother, she always said, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise. I won't be here tomorrow because I'm going to lay back. I'm going to watch a lot of football. Be laid back in my easy chair with my pajamas on and eating whatever the First Lady fixed. I'm going to enjoy that. From my family to your family, we wish you again another happy and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But remember what I said, and remember this well. When going into the new year, trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside of you. God bless you, and may he keep you as well.